All right, everybody, this is Aaron Breitman from the Scarlet Faithful. Minutes after Rutgers men's basketball defeated Sacred Heart 88 to 50, 2-0, second game of the season, and another impressive performance. Offensively, they look great. They look great. For me, it's not just it's not the points, but it's just the fact that they're sharing the basketball the way they're sharing it. The way they're moving, there's constant motion. There's not standing around. They're looking to run in transition. They were attacking the rim. They were taking good shots. They're just, in sync in a way that, this early in the season is a little bit surprising, especially with some moving parts, some new parts. But I just think, again, Cam Spencer, what he brings to this team, he was a stat sheet stuffer tonight. 18 points, only took 10 shots, was 6 of 10, made 3 of 6 from 3, but he had 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 0 turnovers, and 3 steals. And he just looks for other teammates. He made this full court pass to Derek Simpson in transition. He didn't even put the ball on the floor. It was a tremendous half court chest pass. So just think he does so much for the offense. He really does. Him and Paul Mulcahy in the backcourt. Paul, had a shoulder kind of not brace, but almost like a shoulder cover on it. He's obviously okay, but he's a little banged up there. He didn't look to score too much tonight, but he had 6 assists, 1 turnover. Looked good in that regard. I think the fact that Rutgers is playing so well without Cliff and Paul needing to carry the team, that's really encouraging. You're seeing Cam Spencer and then Andre Hyatt. I mean, just what a revelation he's been. Just super smooth, playing with confidence, making good decisions. He led the team with 19 points. He only took 7 shots from the field. He was 5 of 7, 2 of 3 from 3, and he's just proving that he might be the best free throw shooter on the team. If you go back to last season at Indiana, he had those 2 free throws. He stepped up in the technical foul. I think it was I can't remember if it was from Mulcahy or for who it was from, but he made 2 huge free throws. Pikel referenced it in the preseason at the media day this year, saying it was the 2 biggest free throws the team made last year. And he's just had worked hard this offseason. Jerry Carino, who I had on the Scarlet Faithful podcast to preview the season, talked about the coaching staff really working very hard to get the most out of Hyatt, and it's working. It's working. Even if you count the exhibition, I mean, he's played 3 really good games in a row. Super balanced. He didn't have as many rebounds tonight. He had a double-double in the opening night against Columbia. He only had 3 boards tonight, but just super efficient offensively, and just playing with an understated swagger, if that makes sense. He's not a super vocal guy. He doesn't, exude a ton of emotion, but he's just a tough kid. And I mean, listen, people wrote him off after last year. And I said it, I have to say, this kid as a recruit was a really good player. He went to LSU, he had a kind of a rough go of it. He did start a lot of games for them. He had a double-double in the in-state tournament. And last year, I mean, I think he just never found his rhythm. He wasn't used to playing, as few minutes. And he couldn't get into games in terms of getting into a rhythm and contributing. And I think he's just, in a way, maybe a blessing has been with McConnell missing these first 2 or 3 games, having Hyatt get those minutes and be able to really just kind of find himself as a player again. He's playing as well as he ever has at the collegiate level, and probably the best he has, to be honest. And I think the key is when McConnell comes back, if he's playing less minutes, he's still got to be able to find that feel for things. I think he probably will be the first guy off the bench, but perhaps him and Matt can rotate. But I just, of anyone on Rutgers this season so far, you have to be super impressed with Hyatt. And if he can be a consistent contributor, 8 to 10 points, 5 to 6, 7 rebounds a game, playing solid defense, can guard multiple positions. He's going to be a big-time contributor and make this team better. But overall, I thought transition offense, 22-4 on the break advantage tonight. They're looking to run. Obviously, the competition is such that, we have to see if they can do this against good teams, against high major teams. But I love the intent. There's a purpose there. They're looking to get out and run, and they're doing it really well. They're making good decisions. They're being unselfish with the basketball. When Mag made that bounce pass through two defenders to Simpson for a wide open dunk, I mean, that was beautiful. So I just think that this team is very much in sync. They're playing together, and it's a really, really encouraging thing to see after two games. You're missing McConnell. You have Omori and Mulcahy. You have these veterans, but these new guys are stepping up. They're playing together, and they just look like they're having fun out there. And it's been a joy to watch. Rebounding wise, was fine tonight. I think they were +5. Listen, people are gonna. I can't wait to get the tweets about the layups. Yes, they were 12 of 23 from layups. If you count the dunks, though, they were, overall 18 of 30, 60%, which isn't, great, but it's not awful. But listen, they shot 51% from the field. They shot 41% from three-point range, 7 of 17, and they were at 19 of 22 from the free throw line, 86%. People were overreacting after game one. I hate the first game of any season of any sport because the overreactions always happen, good and bad. They had a bad night from the line in the first night, and I think it was partly a product of just getting their legs underneath them. But tonight, 19 of 22, the starters were a perfect 17 of 17. Hyatt was 7 of 7. Spencer was 3 of 3 on that foul, three-pointer he got fouled on early. But Mag was 2 of 4 in game one, 4 of 4 tonight. And then I think Mulcahy was 2 of 2. Cliff, I think, was just 1 of 1. But 17 of 17, super impressive. 19 of 22 overall. I mean, that's, you can't expect that every night. But if this team can shoot 75% from the free throw line, it's going to be a huge improvement. And they haven't done that ever under Peichel. So just from an efficiency standpoint, this offense looks much improved. They're balanced. They're sharing the basketball. They're playing together. They're looking to run when they can. They're making good decisions. They're not perfect. They'll miss some shots inside. Sure, okay. But, when you shoot 50 plus from the field, 40 plus from three-point range, and 80 plus from free throw line, please don't complain. Just come on. They're not going to play a perfect game. But that was a tremendous shooting night from a Rutgers basketball team. Now that a quick turnaround, play UMass Lowell on Saturday. UMass Lowell is no joke. Their KenPom is 168 coming into tonight. They're playing tonight as well, so they'll be on short, and they play Tuesday, so they'll be on even shorter rest. But it's about taking care of business once again on Saturday. It's just refreshing to see Rutgers play so well against teams they should dominate, right? And we saw with Iowa last year in the net rankings. It's only game 2, but let's think about it. Iowa had a really good net ranking last year because they destroyed all the poor competition they played. They had arguably a worse non-conference schedule than Rutgers last year, but they beat everybody by 30 points. And that's what Rutgers is doing right now. And even Brad Wachtel, who I've had I've talked to many times over the last couple of years, he even tweeted after the first game, if you're going to play a bad non-conference schedule and you destroy your opponent, it's actually going to work out for you in net. So I actually do think Rutgers has a better non-conference schedule than people are giving them credit for. Example, UMass Lowell is not a sub-300 team. 168, third game of the season. So let's see what happens on Saturday. If this team can continue to play together. Defensively tonight, 25 turnovers from Sacred Heart. 29-5 edge on points off of turnovers. So that was huge. That obviously helped key the break and transition as well. And from the three-point line, I can't remember what Sacred Heart shot, but, they did not go off by any means. They didn't shoot too poorly. I think they shot over 40% for the game overall, but, Rutgers hasn't been tested yet. But I think just a balanced performance overall, and they're going to need to come out, I think, and have a strong start against UMass Lowell. They were double and triple teaming Cliff early in this game. It took him to the second half to get going, but he finished with, I believe it was 17 points, and really dominated in the second half, looked really smooth. He didn't take as many shots on the perimeter, but he was able to, his ability to get the ball, put it on the floor, and attack the rim he did that a couple times tonight in ways that he hadn't done before. So he looks improved as well, of course, like we expected. And I think feeding him early on Saturday is important. Hyatt, if he can continue to attack the rim, when Caleb McConnell is going to return remains to be seen. I say don't rush him back. I don't think he should be play on Saturday, but there's always a chance. But you go into Saturday, you have UMass Lowell. Hopefully you can win that. You're 3-0, and then you have 6 days to get ready for Temple at a neutral court. I think having next week to get McConnell ready, if he's that close, makes a lot of sense. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But overall, 2 games in, you can't overreact. There's a long way to go. Competition has not been good. But Rutgers is doing what you expect good teams to do against poor competition. They're dominating. And for that, let's be thankful. I'm happy. And, more to come. Thanks for following all my coverage at thescarletfaithful.com. And I'll be back with reaction videos Saturday for both football and men's basketball. Also, women's soccer NCAA tournament game against Ivy League champ Brown on Saturday. Men's soccer going to the Big Ten tournament championship, hosting Indiana on Sunday with a chance to earn the automatic bid for their first NCAA tournament appearance in 7 years. It's an exciting time at Rutgers, and we're just in the thick of it now with crossover season. And wrestling has their opener on Friday. I had Scott Goodale on the podcast this week if you haven't heard it. So, lots of good stuff going on, and looking forward to bringing you more great coverage, and appreciate all your support.